So this video is going to focus on the logarithmic properties here. So the product rule, the quotient rule, and the power rule. So we're going to do a few examples of expanding down some logs, and then we're going to do a few examples of condensing them down. Again, using the product rule, the quotient rule, and the power rule here. So essentially, in a nutshell, so a lot of times when we're working with logs, we need to simplify them, possibly expand them out in order to allow us to maybe convert to exponential in order to solve them or do some different things with them, right? So if we're given a logarithmic expression that we need to expand out, a lot of times what I'll say is first pay attention to how many different things do we have in the problem here. So for example, we have log base 4 of a 64 and a y. So over here, to the right side of the log is what we're kind of focusing on here. I have a 64 and I have a y, so I have two different things. So one of the first ways that I say to expand out a log is kind of take this log base 4 and think of it kind of as distributing a log 4 to everything on the inside of the parentheses here. So we have a log base 4 to the 64 and then a log base 4 to the y. So I'm going to write that down. Log base 4 as 64, and then I also have a log base 4 of a y. Now, the second thing that you should be focusing on with expanding out logs is what calculation is going on here. According to our rules, if you are multiplying, when you expand them out, multiplication correlates to addition, division correlates to subtraction. And if you have an exponent, that's actually going to come down in front of the expression here as a coefficient. So after we distribute our log out, again, we're looking for multiplication, division, or an exponent. Now here in our problem, we have division, and according to the quotient rule, it says that you're going to expand out division by subtracting them. So after we distribute, because we're dividing, we're going to put a minus sign in between. And we are actually done expanding this. This is our solution. Let's try another one. Here we have a log base 4, and I notice that I have a square root of x in my numerator and a y cubed in my denominator. So I also have two different things inside my parentheses. So I'm going to start by distributing the log. Log base 4 of a square root of x, log base 4 of a y cubed. Then I'm going to pay attention again to the calculation. Because I have division, again, the quotient rule says division correlates to subtraction. So I am going to subtract in between them. Now, I do have exponents here, and actually we do have two exponents here with the x and the y cubed. Keep in mind that the square root of x is equal to x to the 1/2 power. These are the same thing. Anytime you take a square root, it's the same thing as raising it to a 1/2 power here. So what I need to do is I need to take this square root and convert it to its exponent form here. So I'm going to drop down that log base 4. This square root of x can be written x to the 1/2. And then drop down the rest of the problem. And you want it written as an exponent because we have the power rule here that says if we have an exponent, then we need to do another simplification. And according to the power rule, that exponent is going to come down in front as a coefficient. So it's going to look like this. This 1/2 will come down here in front. So that's going to look like a 1/2 log base 4 of x now. Bring down your minus sign. We have this 3 as our exponent. So same thing. The power rule says this is going to come down in front. So that's going to be 3 log base 4 of y. And that is our expanded logarithmic expression. Let's do another one here. So log base b of x squared times y over z cubed. So notice we have three different things here. We have the x squared, so we'll distribute to that. We have the y that we'll distribute to. And we have the z cubed. So we have three different things. So we have log base b of the x squared. We have log base b of the y, and then we have log base b of the z cubed. So anything that's getting multiplied is your product rule here. Product rule says is that's going to change to an addition. Quotient rule, again, is going to be a subtraction. So up here in the numerator, the x squared and y are being multiplied together, so I am going to put a plus sign in between those. And I'm going to put a minus in front of the z because that is being divided. Another way that you can tell the difference between when you'll use a plus and a minus, if you have a fraction form here, anything in the numerator should always be positive. The x squared is in the numerator, it's positive. The y is in the numerator, it's positive. The only thing in the denominator is that z cubed, and it needs to have a minus in front of it. So numerator should always be positive, denominator should always be negative. Otherwise, we took care of distributing the log in our product and quotient rule. The last thing to take care of is any exponents. We do have two exponents, so we will use the power rule to bring those down in front as a coefficient. So this is now going to look like 2 log base b of x. The middle one here is just going to drop down. There is no exponent there. Minus a 3 log base b of z. Last example here of expanding. So we have log base b of an x squared y to the 4th z cubed. So I'm going to distribute 3 different times. Once for the x squared, then again for the y to the 4th, and then again for the z cubed. These are all in the numerator, or they're all getting multiplied together, so they should all be positive. That's our product rule right over here. Again, multiplication correlates to addition. Otherwise, we just need to simplify any exponents. All 3 of these have exponents, so we will be bringing those down in front as a coefficient. So it will look like 2 log base b of x plus 4 log base b of y plus 3 log base b of z. Let's do the opposite now. So one of the more common things that you'll do, especially in solving logarithmic equations, one of the first steps in solving logarithmic equations is to condense your equation down. So we want to simplify it as much as possible before going further with that equation. So in a situation like this where we have 2 separate logs, one of the first things we're going to want to do here, well, think of it in reverse of kind of what we just did. If you think about the opposite, our last step was to take care of the exponents and bring them down as coefficients. So our first step here should be, if we have any coefficients, they need to go back up as exponents. Now, keep in half that a 1/2, remember, was just a square root of x. So anytime we have a 1/2, that correlates to a square root, or the opposite. When we're expanding, we switch the square root to a 1/2 power. But when we're condensing, that exponent of that 1/2 has to go back as a square root. So here, this 1/2 here in front, so let me do this in 2 steps here. So this 1/2 is going to go back as an exponent according to our power rule. So this will look like ln x to the 1/2 minus ln y to the 7. But in the next step, we need to understand that a 1/2 power is the same thing as a square root. So we want to go ahead and make that change. Otherwise, after you deal with exponents, after you're done with the power rule, your final step here is merging your logs together. I'm going to merge these into one, right? Think about just joining these 2 ln's together. And based off your calculation, it's going to depend on how you put them together. If it's a plus sign, remember you're multiplying these. If it's a minus sign, you're dividing these. And since we have a minus sign, we will be dividing. The first one is always going to be your numerator. The second one is always going to be your denominator. So this is what our condensed expression should look like. Let's look at example F. So again, when we're condensing, look for coefficients first. And I have 2 coefficients here. Coefficients need to go back as exponents. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. Drop down ln of x plus 9. And this 8 here that was in front is now going to be the exponent for that one. Minus, drop down the ln x, and the 4 here in front is now going to be the power of x. So that should be your first step in condensing. Any coefficients need to automatically become exponents. Then look at your sign. If it's a plus, you're multiplying these. If it's a minus, you're dividing these. Now ours is a minus, so we are going to divide. So we're going to merge the 2 ln's into one, with this first one here being our numerator, this second one here being our denominator. Last example here. So let's go ahead and condense this down. So one of the first things I see here is I do have this 1/2 in front. Keep in mind that that 1/2 is a coefficient. It is going to become a power. And because this 1/2 is in front of these parentheses, that means the log base 5 of x is going to have that power of a 1/2. But that also means this log base 5 of y is also going to have a power of a 1/2 because this 1/2 needs to be distributed to everything inside the parentheses. Bring down your minus sign, and here notice that we do have a 2 that is going to belong to this x plus 1. So drop down the log base 5 of x plus 1, and this 2 here is going to be an exponent now for that one. Now, do remember, anytime you have 1/2, that is the same thing as the square root. A 1/3 would be a cube root, 1/4 would be a fourth root, and so on. So this is actually log base 5 of the square root of x plus log base 5 of the square root of y minus that log base 5 of x plus 1 squared. Let's go ahead and merge these into a single log. When you're condensing, you only want one log or one ln. So we're going to join all three of these together. Again, keep in mind, if you have a plus sign, they're getting multiplied. A minus sign is getting divided. Or another way to think of it, if they are positive, like these first two, they should be in the numerator. Anything that has a minus sign in front of it should be in the denominator. So this is going to look like, well, I have square root of x and square root of y that are positive. So those are going to go in the numerator. And the x plus 1 squared is our denominator. Last little thing to simplify here. So I'm going to move over my ln. Square root of x times square root of y is easy, or it's better to be written square root of x times y. That is more simplified. So we're going to write it like that over the x plus 1 squared. And that is our condensed expression.